So, you want to tell me what MAT or MAT stands for?
Medium anti-tank.
Hold on, you get a star.
Yes!
Anyway. MAT stands for the rocket team that is capable of delivering accurate and deadly direct fire against tanks, bunkers, buildings, and other suitable hard targets. Distinction here is that, as opposed to the tubes you carry, they just carry a bigger warhead and a bit more diverse types of warheads. Anyway, typically one team per platoon when assaulting a position or an enemy. Armored assets are expected. Anyway, there are two MAT weapons that we use regularly, the MAAWS, and the SMAW. Really fun to say. Anyway, this kind of role is reserved for those that are extremely capable, munitions and launchers, and having good communication and solid use of brevity techniques. Important. Who knows what I mean by brevity?
Yeah, to get a shot out as quick as possible.
Pretty much, yep. Being real familiar with the equipment and any terms and all that. Anyway, good thing to note is that the different rounds fly different patterns, so you probably want to get familiar with that before slotting in for TAC. Anyway, rule number 1 is take your time. You only have so many rockets, and you can use the optics and account for wind, communicate with the spotter, wait for a stationary target. Have to do it sometimes. I'm not getting mad if you can't make the hit. We'd rather you keep the rocket. Anyway, rockets are affected by wind. I think we've got a mild wind here. So if you were to shoot like up to, I think the scopes range out to 900 meters with a lateral wind, the rocket will shift about 30 meters or so off target, left to right. Anyway, so the crew served, so the 2-man team typically. Other teams have 3. Sorry, other groups have 3, but what's the point? Beyond just carrying extra ammo. So one's obviously the gunner, and the other's the spotter, and carries additional rockets, blah blah blah, says the gunner. Employment of the weapon, anyway. So, typically you'll have a scope or an optic to go with it. I can't imagine trying to be any good with a MAT launcher without one. Anyway, this will give you better target discrimination and a bit more precise aiming and post-shot damage assessment. Anyway, we have, as I got in the beginning of talking about, we have different rounds and each have different flight patterns and effects. Well, and you guys, Zig, Wiley, Chronix, who wants to tell me what HE stands for?
High explosive.
High explosive, and when would you be using that? Or what kind of targets would you be shooting at?
Armoured.
I wouldn't say armoured, typically soft targets, like infantry or buildings. Or, just wheeled vehicles that can do enough damage to them to get them to dismount, get a mobility kill. But typically you want to save that for buildings or infantry. The MAAWS actually has a Airburst configuration. We'll get you all to have a go with that before we finish up tonight. Now, HEDP, what does that stand for?
Say dual purpose.
High explosive dual purpose.
Correct. And what differentiates HEDP from regular old HE?
It can pierce armor and go bang.
Yep. So it's like a multi-role round. It's not quite good at being an HE round or a anti-tank round. It's somewhere in the middle, kind of reserved for medium armor or lighter armor. But can be used against infantry in a pinch, and probably want to be using those more against structures, bunkers, that kind of thing. Because you might be able to bring down the house if you're lucky. So we got HEAA or HEAT. They're both different, but they're both kind of interchangeable depending on what launcher you're using. I'll take either explanation. Sorry, description.
High explosive anti-armour.
Yep, that's one.
Anti-tank.
And then we got HEAT or heat, high explosive anti-tank, which is pretty much the same thing. I'm not sure if there's a distinction between whether they're either kinetic or chemical. I'm not sure. I think they're actually the same thing. But yeah, I'd be using those against medium and heavy armor. They do very little area damage, but a great deal of anti-armor. Typically 2 shots at range to take out a tank, like a heavy tank. Anyway, now I don't expect you to know these ones. It's an FTG, and these actually don't exist, but God willing, they will be.
You ask us this every time, and I can never remember.
What was the acronym again?
FTG, Foxtrot Tango Golf.
Fuck that.
Like
jeez.
test.
Not the
Like,
test
uh,
missile.
Through grenade.
Say again, Pope?
All the way through grenade.
Nailed it. Yep.
I'd go
So-
full testicle goal.
I can't remember what movie it was, but it pretty much just blows a hole, then sort of slings an explosive through it. It's pretty neat. One left, I think it's the novelty one. Yeah. So it's NE and novelty explosive. What's cool about this one? It was an Ace 2. You'll remember?
One boom, then a second boom afterwards.
Barrack.
Yep, that's right, thermobaric. So it uses extreme blast and heat pressure around the joint point of detonation. Pretty much just ignites the oxygen in an area. So if you shoot into an enclosed place, it's not a good day. Pretty good against infantry and buildings. Utter shite against anything else. So we got the gunner, which is typically the junior member. So you get to shoot the damn thing, which is always ideal. And you carry it. And you're typically choosing where you're firing from, whoever you are engaging targets, and that your spotter picks out. Probably going to be listening to his directions. And you'll probably decide on what the best type of rocket to use on a given target, but it's usually even decision. There's not going to be many disagreements on what round to use. Right, so you probably want to know... We went through the different rocket types, but you probably want to know where they are meant to be used.
I will mention one more thing.
Yep.
The high explosive anti-tank, because it is a penetrating round because of the shape charge, it doesn't lose its effectiveness over distance, whereas an armor-piercing round, which is expected to be fired from a tank, will lose its effectiveness over distance.
Good to know.
Cool. Thank you.
Little bonus in there, bonus nugget. I actually omitted the spotter roll thing. If you're the spotter, you'll have range finders, carry additional rockets. Yeah, you'll be giving out instructions, all that kind of things. So yeah, get to know your rounds when you want to be using them, because you need to be making these decisions pretty quickly. And when you're not fighting armor, your optics can be used as to assist infantry in spotting concealed or distant targets. And you always want to be reloading in cover and firing from different positions each time, as the situation permits. Backblast will give you away most of the time, so ensure that you move away after each hit. Or shot, I should say. That's not always going to be a possibility, but meh, good practice.
Yeah, and a bearing of 215.
2, 1, 5.
There's infantry on the hill at 348 meters. So go to Airburst config
Looking on the floor, I can't see it.
Yep.
and change it to 350 meters.
Oh yeah, now I can see it.
350. Apply.
Anyway, yeah, Zig, so
So those are infantry on the hill.
and try and line up
Yep.
the
Little rise in the hill. Aim just above their head. So range for about 300 to 400. Maybe 400. At range for 400. And then aim at them.
pop-up targets.
Then fire.
Oh, nice.
Perfect.
Sick as. That was good.
Yeah, so that's what the airburst does. It'll explode when hitting the ground.
Okay.
But what it'll do is at 350 meters from launch, it'll actually explode again in the air. So if there's infantry on the ground, you can cover a bigger distance, or bigger area, if you burst it in the air above them.
Nice.
Okay, bearing of 240 on the runway. So between us and the hangar.
There's a hangar? I can't see a hangar. I do.
Yep. So if you're looking at towards 240 direction.
Yep.
where that explosion just was.
Happy
Yep.
with using this.
Just aim just above that and fire. Oh, nice.
Cool.
A
There's
little bit too far, but that's fine.
Orange roof building.
1050, 1050, 1006. So about a K out.
I'll give you a different target.
Alright.
Alright, can you see the infantry at the end of the runway? So not the ones we're firing at before.
Right there. Reload some HE. So you see that road that runs along the runway? Heading away from us?
Alright.
This is it pops over the hill on the left. There's a group of targets there.
Can't see those targets, unfortunately.
Yep. Nah, fair enough. So I want an airburst of...
You can see where the road goes up the hill, and then to the left of that,
Yep.
the road continues on past the...
Yeah, so between where the road goes over the hill and where it continues past, there's a bunch of targets there on the
I'll look at that.
crest of the hill.
Yep.
So range out to 900.
Oh yeah. That's...
Yeah.
I'll aim slightly above.
So far out, but I reckon it's about 750.
Boom.
Boys, pull out your MAAWS.
Cool. I didn't see any path, but I saw the explosion.
Yep, so that was a wee bit short.
700 is fine.
Just a touch, yeah.
Now,
I've got
fire up around like
975 on
normal,
my...
so 700.
Oh no,
Try and hit those
exactly
guys.
1,000 on my range.
Yep. Airburst config, I'll go 1020.
A little bit up, because I said it was 750.
Fly. Firing.
3800.
Good hit. Whatever that was.
Nice. Do you see the targets behind that tank?
Yeah.
Hey, little bastard.
800.
Please.
Yep.
We're back.
If you want, you can either try and hit the infantry on the horizon, they're about
Load heat,
900,
load airburst.
or you can grab a heat
No,
ray
load-
to
load
try and kill
HE.
a vehicle.
Yeah, look, I've got the HE.
Airburst
Makes
config.
perfect.
Then scroll menu.
Don't have it.
And
I'm
it's
back.
easy to practice.
E.
Spotting grounds as well.
HEDP, yeah?
Night times.
Distance?
Why?
Bearing 239.
850 exactly.
Range of 635, so range for 600. With a HEAT or HEAA or HEDP. Yep.
Oh, come on.
So if you see that Shilka,
Yes.
so if your range at 630,
That's look
it'll probably drop a little bit short. So aim for the basically around the top of the turret and fire when ready.
Oh, hang on. Sorry, wrong tank. Wrong tank.
The backblast?
Readjust for 7. Readjust for 770.
Man, I'm going to keep
Smacked him.
these players out.
Yeah.
Oh.
More players, please.
That was,
Didn't-
that shot...
Hey, there he goes.
That was awesome.
Spot on. At 234, there's a tank. I want. Oh.
That's
I'll
it.
take it.
So he's at range 844. So range for 800.
7,
Yeah. So
let
fire
me
one
just
up.
double check.
That's how you also
770.
got the frame.
Got a HEAT or something like that.
At which point
Okay,
you
I'll
can
Clear.
just
Clear.
reload.
500 is where mine
Good to go.
landed, so you probably
Yep.
got 11.
So range for 800. Shoot probably just above the turret and fire when ready.
770.
Should I adjust for the window door?
Nah. The wind's not affecting anything.
Clear backblast.
Things you're trying to light up the sky.
Clear
Keep
back.
Black Blast.
Yeah.
You'll like that.
High.
Boom. That's close. I think. Nah. Did he go up?
Top of the enemy.
He's smoking.
Fire and illumination around
Still
that.
up.
Good idea.
He's still up.
Yep. Do it again.
Yep,
Holy
so
shit, I can't hit
reload. Go aim slightly left, so towards the back of the turret, and a
Yeah, we're all letting them in now.
little bit more. Probably about the same height.
Sure.
Help right about
Would
it.
have,
Oh, we
Yeah,
got some
Fire when ready.
You guys need to watch your backblast a bit more.
Clear backblast.
Oh, he's
Shit, did I just shoot a smoke at it?
Nope.
Guys, watch your backblast.
I'm actually watching behind me to see if that got you.
I think that was a good hit.
um,
But it didn't destroy him.
anyone?
This miss, even though you just did it.
Anyway, I'm
The
stopped.
range is
The
8
trick to that is
before,
standing up.
so set range for 800
Yeah,
meters.
If you
Yep.
can find it,
That's bad.
stand up. So I think
Um,
you can fire
and
these
aim
almost vertical. Yeah, you can fire
Above the
vertical
turret,
while
I don't know if you
standing
can see it in your sight, but
Yep.
there is a gunning position. Aim
Yep.
for that gunning position. The tip of
Roger
that.
that. Firing, clear back blast.
Run out of targets.
Good hit.
up. Let me treat your arm.
Help him out with the smoke.
Clear back blast.
Yeah, you're clear.
Correct hit.
Good hit. That was smoke.
That was a good hit with smoke.
Do we know what happens when we fire a flare into
It
the
was
ground?
bang on.
That's funny.
Oh, that was a good hit. Whoever shot that.
Got it.
Was that Pope?
That's he's gone.
Yeah, mate.
Up blast.
How'd you get that, Apex? That laser? Apex, you know your night vision goggles actually go green when I'm looking at your
Yeah, clear.
face? The MVGs go green when I'm looking at your
Why is it
face.
so bright?
Like when you got them switched on.
Okay.
It's really bright over here.
Yeah. Yeah. I just put it up.
Yeah, if you look behind you.